So, as the qualifying stages of Deluxe closes, we have our finalists, and the reveal of the runner-up for Groups A and D have been revealed. Plus, the conclusion of the Akina versus Kagestu match. So much to talk about, let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome to Dueling with Doubtson. Today we're talking all things episode 13 of the Cardfight Vanguard Divinez Deluxe arc. So without further ado, let's dive straight into the episode. So we've had this overarching theme of Akina trying to find his reason for card fighting. And I thought this was perfect. His answer was because he wanted to be on the same stage as the person he admired, which is now. Thanks to the words spoken within the past. Even though it's just a glimmer of hope, a miracle will descend upon those who reach out a hand. Again, words said by now, giving Akina a phrase to live by and shape his life around. Akina loves playing Vanguard because he not only gets to experience new things every time he plays, but he also gets to be more connected to the girl that taught him / he admires. Now yes, this is a very sweet and wholesome reason for Akina to play, and even having Akina saying that he wants to go pro plays into this fact. Knowing that now is also a pro fighter, this would eventually make them rivals. The addition of this goal does help to give Akina more motivation to win Deluxe once it was announced that Now was out of the tournament. I did think what was going to happen to our protagonist's motivation now that they're no longer on the same stage. But even if this goal of becoming pro wasn't in Akina's thoughts, he would still probably do his best to win as he wouldn't want to look pathetic in front of his mentor. Now on that note, it was really cool as well seeing that Akina finally has a personal wish. As we saw in Season 2, Akina never really had anything selfish he wanted to wish for if he won the fated clash. Now, with this goal of wanting to become pro and continuing to be on the same stage as the girl he loves, it gives us a wish more for himself. And I love seeing Hikari approve of this, and even Erika was thrilled at this announcement. So, I do like the fact that Akina is finally understanding himself more, thus we're getting more of a selfish side to our protagonist, which we haven't really had in these 3 seasons. So, that's a positive. Now let's be honest, Akina here basically with his answer announced the entire world that he loves Now. And you can clearly see the reaction and understanding that Now has for our protagonist's feelings. But I do love though how this was an answer that has been built up and showcased over 3 seasons of Divinez, with their interactions, their supportive nature in their relationship, and the flashbacks, and many more examples, so this answer doesn't feel forced. It was packaged with some wholesome and sweet emotion, so overall, I thought this was handled perfectly. Do you think now they have to do is just, well, kiss or get a room? Now, before we talk about the fight, because that was amazing in itself, I want to go over the runner-ups. And I love the fact that Erika went through. This made me so happy as we get more development for this character and seeing her grow more as a person, as an individual. She wants to become, and I'm here for it. I'm still not sure that she'll go far in the knockout stages, but still having her as a competitor will allow us to express the character more, as her being knocked out would have made her fade into the background character role. And I can't see her having much screen time if she's not actually card fighting. So it's so good that she's still here, and my face really did lit up with a smile seeing her go through. And I do think her best chances at winning in the next round would be against Megami. But I would love to see her face Suo, because the whole past type of dynamic. Yet we should be past the stage of Erika having PTSD or anger at the past, considering we had that announced or addressed when she faced Now in the qualifying stages. We'll have to wait and see. As a side note, seeing Now get eliminated was really sad. She did her best to look cool and fake a smile in front of Akina, which plays to her personality, but seeing her cry here was very heartbreaking, and it's a shame to see her reduced to a cheerleader within the next season, especially as Kagestu gave her a new card, which we never got revealed. Wonder if that'll be followed up next time. Who knows? Now then, the runner-up of Group D was in fact Ruka. It's clear from Tamori's reaction when announcing her in that she knew from ages ago that Ruka was a part of Deluxe. You know the episode where Udara was mentioning the creator and Tamori was like, maybe you'll see her soon? Yeah, she knew at that stage. But how on earth did Danji not connect the dots? Unless it does get revealed that Ruka had a mask on when in the qualifying stages of Group D. Danji's either got some massive memory issues, or he just completely blanked the creator of the group that he loves out of his mind, and, well, you know, she looks pretty much the same as her flashback, just more stylish. Who knows? Ruka's design, though, does remind me a little bit of the overdressed Megami design with that hat and cropped jacket. Obviously, there are differences between the designs, but it does make me, you know, think about it. Ruka does look very stylish yet mature with her design, and we do get to see her carefree personality as she enters the stage. I do like the fact that hasn't changed, but oh man, oh man, oh man. Does she just blank Kagestu? Poor guy. But with that being said, I'm super excited to see her reactions and interactions with the cast and her playstyle. If the nickname A Beast isn't an indicator, then I don't know what is. So what decks do you think she's playing? Personally, I still think it's something like Dark State. Maybe she could introduce a Stride? No, that's weird. Hold on. Let's move on. So then, Kagestu. I loved how Akina's answer resonated with him and made it realize that it's the same feelings that he felt after meeting Ruka. His views on Vanguard did change as he longed to face her again, but because she disappeared, that could never happen. So Kagestu quit and ran away, losing his reason to play the game. Had Sybil have won in Season 2, Akina could have travelled down a very similar path than Kagestu travelled in his. Seeing his reaction to Ruka's return was amazing, and you know he's going to do his best to try and talk to her, but things aren't going to be easy for him. Betting you right now that she's forgotten about him, which would absolutely crush Kagestu's heart even more. We know that once they do fight though, this is going to be something juicy. As a side note though, seeing Kagestu calling Akina by his name instead of young man after his defeat was a great sign of respect. And I don't know about anybody else, but that whole young man name calling just felt really odd and annoying to me. But I'm so glad that now, after this win that Akina has gained over Kagestu and completing the Trial of the Moon, they now have a mutual respect that, you know, they're on name basis. Really quick then, finally, Suzune tagging along with Suo was so sweet and wholesome. The two make a great pair and hopefully we see more of her moving forward. I did find it a little weird though how she was basically in Suo's shadow, but hey, it was great to see her smiling and interacting with Suo, and hopefully she goes and interacts with a lot more of our cast moving forward and makes many friends. So, what's up with Riker and Sophie Bell's relationship though? Seeing her text him and using the doggy theme teasing him again was absolutely crazy and I'm absolutely here for it. I wanted to see Sophie Bell back in the series. We got a brief cameo from her. Still though, absolutely amazing. Love seeing it, and I'm curious to see if, you know, why Riker didn't just block her in the end. Maybe he's got some like twisted fetish that he uses her teasing as motivation to help him move forward. Who knows? Now then, for the fight. This was a really hyped match with some music that was so fitting and good for adding excitement. The animation went crazy, seeing Akina using his new mythical unit, pulling an overtrigger and comboing like crazy, but it's still not being enough was just absolutely insane. That sequence of combos was just incredible. But what I enjoyed even more though was the growth in skill that Akina showed. He's been seeing that his deck is based on creating miracles, and he's thinking of ways that he can maximize that potential to its limits and create those miracles for himself. So him using cards that allow him to manipulate his deck in searching out triggers or looking at the top cards of his decks and putting them in different places was just amazing. And it did remind me a little bit of how Misaki used to play in Season 1 with the Goddess of the Full Moon Tsukuyomi, and how she always filtered through her deck to memorize the position of cards in order to pull the triggers when she needed. That final draw trigger though was amazing at the end, as had that not happened, Kagestu would have been able to intercept, thus surviving and winning on the next turn. The match was so back and forth that it felt like a tournament ending final. This could have gone either way. Had Akina lost though, at this point it would have been very pointless having him lose and still go through unluck because of the draw. So I'm very glad that it gave him the win in this scenario and allowed him to pass the Trial of the Moon, making it so that we don't really have to have Akina and Kagestu in the finals. We can express ourselves in different matchups with him. This brings me to my next point regarding the arc, as we get a second part in July, which has now been revealed. And I love this, as we can now see more matchups and the characters get more time to shine and develop. So, super excited for this, and yeah, let's see how it goes. Overall, I think this was a really fun season of Divines. It had a few lows, but it also had a lot of positives too, and I'm really excited to see the second part of Divinez Deluxe being a closing of the tournament and wrapping everything up nicely. So if you're excited to see the second arc, let me know by hitting that like button and comment your thoughts on the arc in the comment section down below. I will be bringing more Vanguard type content as we march our way into July. With that being said then, hit the like button, hit subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, alligator, matane, goodbye.